Coming up next on an all-new Making Moves, JTA welcomes the Jax USA Partnership's new Innovation Center to the JRTC.
Today is the culmination of vision, collaboration, innovation, and entrepreneurship.
We'll look back at Hurricane Ian, the damage in Southwest Florida, and how JTA got ready for the worst-case scenario before Ian headed into the ocean. It's one of JTA's fastest-growing services. Eugene Lindsay is at the beach to tell us why JTA has merged the Mayport and Beaches Ready Ride zones and how the change benefits you.
We really wanted to make sure that we were expanding the options for people in that area.
Construction on the Emerald Trail is underway. We'll give you the first look and hear why this 30-mile bike and walking path is considered a game changer for the future of Jacksonville.
It's no secret that when companies are looking to relocate to a city, they look at quality of life issues. This will add to that.
Then some JTA women tell how they faced down breast cancer and survived, and why they think getting a mammogram could save your life.
I am just immensely proud of the men and women at every level of the JTA for their continued support of issues that are important to this community, with breast cancer being one of them.
All that and more right now on this edition of Making Moves. JTA recently welcomed Jax USA's new Innovation Center to the Jacksonville Regional Transportation Center at La Villa. Hello and welcome to Making Moves. I'm Bill Milnes. It's good to have you with us today. We begin with one word: innovation. It's a key to JTA's overall mission and vision for the future. So when the Chamber's Jax USA partnership wanted to create an innovation center where business leaders and entrepreneurs could collaborate and innovate, it just made perfect sense to do it at the JRTC. Making Moves' Carlos Bouvier gives us a tour of the new 4,000 square foot facility.
Today is the culmination of vision, collaboration, innovation, and entrepreneurship, all bubbled up in one space.
Innovators need like-minded people to benefit on the collaborative thoughts among that ecosystem. And what this center is going to provide is something that we have not had in Northeast Florida, and that is a single place for all of these innovators to come, collaborate with one another, and what will happen is companies are going to spin out of here. They're going to create jobs that are going to provide opportunities for many, many people in our community.
A space brings people together, but you need to activate that space with really good programming. Some of the programming that we'll have, Web3, blockchain, cryptocurrency, we'll have some pre-accelerators where we're hosting companies in this space to pitch their ideas as well.
That's what this innovation space is all about, creating a space for these innovative businesses and entrepreneurs and thought leaders to convene so they can discuss the challenges that are facing our communities, potential solutions, financial business opportunities. And so by creating that space for people to come together, great things happen.
We're really excited about conducting what we call vendor labs. So leveraging technology, online platforms, have 3 or 4 touches, and then converting the space into a lab in partnership with an enterprise like JTA.
We're involved and we're engaged in some of this thought leadership and decision making around transportation, around healthcare, around financial services. So the JTA is right there engaged in those discussions, so we will be able to be better prepared to deliver the services of the future for this community.
The obvious places that I think will find their way here are fintech, automated manufacturing, transportation and logistics. Those are the industries that have really been growing the last several years in Northeast Florida.
We want to focus on opportunities to engage in small groups, in medium-sized groups. And as you can see in this space, we can rearrange it a lot of different ways. It's roughly 4,000 square feet. Our main focus was open innovation, which means the way that the space is constructed, we have only one enclosed room and no real dedicated office. When we think about innovation in Jacksonville, before today, where would you take someone? JTA is an amazing partner for our city and region. What we're going to do on the vendor lab is going to be groundbreaking.
And adding to the momentum that you could already see that JTA has created with the JRTC in this community. We have actually reinvigorated the La Villa community, and for us to build our facility and spur on this level of development and then add in helping to spur the future decision making and problem solving in our community here in our headquarters building is just remarkable.
Jacksonville is one of those communities where you can dream something like this and have it supported by our top companies, executives, and enterprises. So excited is an understatement.
Let's talk Hurricane Ian now. The massive and deadly Category 4 storm brought powerful 155-mile-per-hour winds and deadly storm surge to portions of southwest Florida. Ian ravaged Fort Myers and completely cut off Sanibel Island before heading east across central Florida. Early indications had Ian making the turn north with Jacksonville directly in its sights. Its erratic and uncertain path meant Jacksonville was left to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. As Hurricane Ian left western Cuba and made its way north along Florida's Gulf Coast, projections had it eventually hitting Jacksonville and North Florida. With only days to truly get ready for the powerful storm, JTA initiated its emergency plan.
Each division went through their operating plan for 96 hours out, 72 hours out.
As the hurricane grew larger and more dangerous, the decision was made to protect many of JTA's prime assets. Buses were sent to Cecil Field.
The buses will be cleaned, they will be completely fueled, they will be getting ready and prepared for the eventuality of the storm.
While the St. Johns River Ferry was moved to safer and more secure inland waters in Green Cove Springs. The journey from its home in Mayport to Green Cove took several hours. Along the way, the ferry passed some very identifiable local landmarks, including the Dames Point, Matthews, and Hart Bridges, TIAA Bank Field, and then under a raised Main Street bridge before making the turn towards Green Cove Springs for safekeeping. As Ian passed through central Florida as a Category 3 hurricane, forecasters were still predicting it to go north towards Jacksonville and northeast Florida. So preparations at JTA continued. Transit operations personnel hunkered down in the operations center for briefings and prepared to begin performing evacuations. Eventually, JTA evacuated people from the urban rest stop downtown to the La Villa School of the Arts, a designated shelter. In total, about 200 people were evacuated to various locations as a precaution. Fortunately for the Jacksonville area, Ian moved out into the Atlantic Ocean before heading north, sparing the city from the devastating damage like we saw in Sanibel Island, Fort Myers, and other southwest Florida cities and towns. But don't get complacent. Hurricane season doesn't end until November 30th, and potential damaging storms are still a possibility. One of JTA's rapidly growing transit options is ReadyRide. It's an on-demand curb-to-curb service that currently operates in more than a dozen neighborhoods around Jacksonville. On our last show, we told you that JTA made the decision to merge the Mayport and Beaches ReadyRide zones into one larger zone. To find out more about this change and why JTA decided to make the change, we sent Making Moves senior correspondent Eugene Lindsay east to the Beaches to find out more.
When you think of public transportation, door-to-door service usually doesn't come to mind, but that's exactly the kind of public transit service the JTA's Ready Ride program is designed to give.
Ready Ride is an on-demand system, and so it connects people within a zone. So think of like an Uber or a Lyft, so you can call in about 2 hours ahead of time, and it'll pick you up door to door within those zones.
And now the Ready Ride zone for commuters in the Mayport community has grown exponentially. After months of research and input from community members, the JTA has decided to merge the Mayport and Beaches Ready Ride zones into one larger zone. This gives customers access to all 4 Duval Beaches communities: Mayport, Atlantic, Neptune, and Jacksonville Beach.
We're constantly looking at how to better serve our customers and our passengers in the Jacksonville area. And so we were looking and we're really considerate of feedback and community feedback in general. And so for the Mayport area before, it was just in a very small area and had connections to the Mayport Express and the Route 10. And so we really wanted to make sure that we were expanding the options for people in that area.
This expansion now gives Mayport residents more options to connect with JTA's mainline fixed routes, which runs throughout the city, as well as commuting from your front door to your destination in the newly combined Mayport and Jax Beaches Ready Ride zone.
We thought it would be really good use of our zones and our existing resources within the Ready Ride system to combine those 2 zones. So now, not only do they have access to the 202 and the 10, they now have access to the 24 and the Red Flyer, as well as like the Mayo Clinic, the Atlantic and Neptune City Beaches, City Halls and everything. So it just gives them more area to connect to.
And that's the beauty of this Mayport Jax Beaches Ready Ride merger.
Oh, go left here. Okay. Any one of these, I forgot to tell you.
Just ask Bill Koptis. He commutes daily to and from work to Baptist Beaches Hospital using the Ready Ride service.
I'm a daily user. Pretty much every morning I get picked up by one of you guys and I go home about this time every day. Price is right, it's reliable, so we're happy out here.
Crawford says now that the COVID numbers are on the decline, they are seeing an increase in ridership on fixed routes and doubled the growth with Ready Ride customers. But she says not to worry, they are prepared to handle any increase in passenger demand. Crawford says the vehicle-to-passenger ratio is based on demand at any given time, so as the number of requests for rides fluctuate, so will the number of Ready Ride vehicles hitting the streets in this Beaches community.
Whatever demand we have, our vendor has committed to be able to provide those trips. And so it's really based upon the demand, and of course the whole point is that we really want to grow this system.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
In Jacksonville, Eugene Lindsay, JTA, making moves.
For more information on the Ready Ride service, just log on to the website at jtafla.com. You'll find it under Ride JTA, then click on the Bus Schedule and Services drop-down menu. Welcome back to Making Moves. Since JTA officially began its My Ride to School campaign in September, hundreds of Duval County students have taken JTA buses to school. School bus driver shortages have forced Duval County schools to look at alternative transportation options to get students to and from class and after-school activities. To better educate parents and students about the new program, JTA's marketing team went on the road, talking recently with parents and students at Ribault High School about the new program.
Some people are not aware of it, or they have tuned it out, but coming here tonight for our open house, it's going to make the parents in this community aware. And if you tell one person, you're going to tell another person, so it's going to spread throughout the community that JTA has partnership with, not just with John Ribault High School, but with Duval County Public Schools to get kids to school and get kids home back after school.
With the My Ride to School program, any Duval County public, private, or charter school student in middle or high school grades can use JTA for free. All the students need is a valid school ID, and they can ride any fixed route or flyer bus to get to their local school. For more information on the My Ride to School program, visit the JTA website at jtafla.com. During the discussions leading up to the passage of the Jobs for Jax initiative, you likely heard about the Emerald Trail. The idea of the nonprofit organization Groundworks Jacksonville, the Emerald Trail, will comprise 30 miles of walking and biking trails connecting a dozen Jacksonville neighborhoods. Work on the estimated $132 million Emerald Trail is in the beginning stages, with construction starting in the La Villa neighborhood just west of the downtown core. Portions of the large concrete path that will traverse the 30-mile trail have already been laid. This area is the Lee Street Pond, about a block from the La Villa School of the Arts. When it's completed, this is what the area will look like. The Emerald Trail is already being compared to similar trails in Manhattan and Atlanta's Beltline.
So in other cities where they've had this kind of forward thinking, whether it's Manhattan or Atlanta, it's been transformational for the communities. It's been a tremendous return on investment.
Atlanta developer Dylan Baines is the managing partner of Columbia Ventures. He's seen firsthand what the Beltline has accomplished in the ATL and thinks the Emerald Trail can do similar things here in Jacksonville. It's one reason, he says, why his company purchased and is redeveloping the old Union Terminal along the trail.
If you're familiar with Atlanta, Georgia, then you've probably heard of Atlanta's Beltline. And what's coming with Groundworks Emerald Trail is the Jacksonville version of that. The Beltline has become Atlanta's second or third biggest tourist attraction, and people will come spend a couple of hours walking, going into the buildings where there are retail experiences, restaurants, taverns, coffee houses, all kinds of things to do.
According to city officials and local business leaders alike, the Emerald Trail will play an important role in attracting future businesses and allowing local small businesses to grow.
It's no secret that when companies are looking to relocate to a city, they look at quality of life issues. This will add to that. More activity downtown as a result of the trail will grow existing small businesses and will attract entrepreneurs to create and start new businesses in and around the area.
Emerald Trail is definitely something that's going to bring people to the downtown area to support the small businesses so that we can continue to grow.
The economics are important. So too are the health benefits of a biking and walking trail. But beyond all of that comes an underlying benefit of seeing something special happen in your city, in your neighborhood, especially those forgotten for far too long.
When they walk with their families and experience that outdoors, it's in their neighborhood and it belongs to them. And belonging is probably more needed than anything else as we think about this opportunity.
October is when many of us wear a pink ribbon to honor a loved one who has battled breast cancer. JTA once again partnered with the nonprofit organization Pink Ribbon Jacks to help raise awareness and money to help local women who can't afford one get a mammogram that could help detect breast cancer. It's very likely that someone you know has battled this dreaded disease. That's certainly the case at the JTA. As Making Moves correspondent Vicky Gutierrez learned, the fight against breast cancer is real, it's difficult, and it's life-changing in so many ways.
And I advise everyone to do your regular checkups, your mammograms, your annual physicals. That matters. It saved your life.
From one breast cancer survivor to another, their message is one of awareness.
It changes your world. You realize it's a disease that is treatable, but the outcome is never certain.
Their hope is that no other woman has to endure what they did, which is why they both celebrate JTA's partnership with Pink Ribbon Jacks, a local nonprofit that aims to help women beat breast cancer.
I am just immensely proud of the men and women at every level of the JTA for their continued support of issues that are important to this community, with breast cancer being one of them, and especially a personal one to me.
Perhaps you've seen these wrapped JTA buses around town, urging women to get one and give one. It's one part of Pink Ribbon Jacks' efforts to not only encourage women to get their mammograms, but to also encourage donations to help ensure underinsured and underserved women can get them at no cost.
You've got a significant segment of the population that faces challenges, not only in terms of getting to a site where a mammogram can be had, but also, the cost related to it and the treatments.
The JTA's involvement goes beyond wrapping buses. As a proud partner, the JTA helps sponsor the costs of life-saving mammograms for women in the community. To further increase awareness, the JTA also lights the Acosta Bridge pink. According to Pink Ribbon Jacks, the cost of one sponsored mammogram is about $300. But they say if you can catch breast cancer early, it's 98% treatable. And if it's treatable, it's survivable. JTA stockroom clerk Vivian Hagler credits a routine mammogram for helping her catch her breast cancer early.
A lot of people wait to go to the doctor till it's too late because we so busy, caught up, well, I ain't got time, I'll be all right. But if you don't take care of your health, it can't take care of you.
JTA Assistant Revenue Manager Ida Blaylock says she skipped getting her mammogram for 2 consecutive years and in the meantime developed stage 3 breast cancer.
When I was 40, I started getting my mammograms, and my first time going to get one, they thought they saw something. So they had me going to 2 or 3 different appointments. I'm running all over the city to go to these appointments, and I felt inconvenienced. I felt inconvenienced because it ended up being a cyst. And so I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And I didn't go the next year or the year after. Had I went, I believe they would have caught it.
In the end, survivors and advocates alike say what it all boils down to is giving all women the opportunity to have access to better health and a better life.
Breast cancer hits women of all ages, women of all backgrounds. It doesn't matter what your race, your ethnicity is. It's very, very important for our community to make sure that we provide access and funding for treatment.
In La Villa, Vicky Gutierrez, JTA, Making Moves.
In award news, NAVEX, an international risk and compliance management software company based in Portland and with offices in London and Stockholm, Sweden, named JTA as a winner in its 2nd annual Customer Excellence Awards. The award winners were chosen by a panel of industry experts based on a number of factors. JTA was the North American winner of the Customer Excellence in Ethics and Compliance category. In choosing JTA, the panel said the authority illustrates its core value of putting employee health and safety first. So our congratulations to the entire JTA Risk and Compliance team. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, the Florida Public Transportation Association honored JTA's communications and marketing team with its first place award during its annual conference in Naples. The JTA team won in the Sustaining Campaign category for its operator recruitment efforts. The campaign featured unique eye-catching posters, graphics, and bus wraps, along with the video commercials, testimonials, and news stories online and here on Making Moves. This is the 3rd consecutive year JTA has won a first-place award from FPTA. So congratulations to the entire JTA communications and marketing team for their creative and award-winning work. Earlier in the show, JTA Chairwoman Ari Jolly and employees Vivian Hagler and Ida Blaylock shared their personal breast cancer survivor stories with us, and we thank them for sharing. Now, before we go, I want to show you this video clip that Making Moves videographer Corey Gaynor captured in San Marco. Some clever person decided a unique way to highlight Breast Cancer Awareness Month when they put pink boas on all the majestic lions in the San Marcos Square. Very cool. Now, hopefully it will inspire you or someone you know to take that step and get their mammograms. If you'd like to join JTA in helping the wonderful folks at Pink Ribbon Jacks in their fight to identify and eradicate breast cancer, go to their website at pinkribbonjacks.org and make a donation. Every $300 raised will ensure another local woman can get their mammogram, so you could be saving a life. If you can't make a whole donation yourself, PRJ encourages you to team up with your friends, family, or co-workers as part of a Get One, Give One campaign. And that wraps up this episode of Making Moves. We thank you for spending some time with us today and hope you'll join us again next time. Now, if you want to watch any of our shows or stories again, we welcome you to check out our YouTube channel. A direct link to our YouTube page is available at jtafla.com. For the entire Making Moves team, I'm Bill Milnes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.